so that you're just turning around until she faces the other direction and then walking forward. Looking up. Excellent. Okay, nice. Well done. I like there how you didn't rush it. Okay, you did one step at a time. Now at the very beginning, there was a bit of a bend that happened. When you do turn on the haunches, think of doing it like you're just pivoting her whole body, okay? So you were good about keeping her hips where they were, but you don't want to turn her face like this and then begin it. You want her nose to stay in the middle of her chest, and she's going to turn and cross those front legs over, and the whole time her body is straight. Okay? So let's walk forward. We'll do on the rail again by A, or just after A there, but straight on the rail, and we'll do that once the other way. So walk forward again, walk forward. Good. So make sure you're not taking back on the reins, right? Your hands have just slid inwards. That's better. Good, and walk forward. Good, okay, good, and I like the instant reward for her. Perfect. That makes me really happy. I just wanted to see those because we hadn't worked on those in a lesson yet, and I wanted to make sure you were doing them correctly, so that looks good to me. Okay, so I've seen your warm-up. The canter's been looking good. It looks like you've got her in front of your leg. You asked for the stick, which was good to hear, but I do want you to get in the habit of having the stick all the time. Okay, so that you're never riding along going, oh, I wish I had a stick. You always have it there when you need it. On some rides, you won't need it once, right? But it's better to have that problem than have the one where you need it and it's not there. Okay, so she's had a really good week. I had Kim have a great jumping lesson on her Tuesday. I had a great ride on her Wednesday. Thursday off, and then she had a flat lesson this morning. So she's been a good girl. Now we're going to start on the left over these canter poles. So we're going to cut through the middle of the ring, half circle, and over the poles. These are set as bounces. And what I want you to do is use the space that you do have. So you've got at least 3 strides straight coming to these poles. So is she awake? The rhythm is nice. Just make sure you've got the impulsion. Good. Now what did you feel happen in her through the middle of the ring here? Yeah, and where did she look? Right. Exactly, okay? She looked out. So we need to have her attention on what's coming up. Good. So this time, Leo, I want you to show a little bit more inside bend. That's right. So she's looking for the pole. There you go. Wait.
Can you open the door for me?
Yeah. So did you know that time, Leo, that she was going to be a bit close to the pole? Okay, good. Keep walking, Eamon. Go. Rhythm count. Now, good effort, Leo, but I saw you count your rhythm when you had already made your turn to the pole, right? So you weren't counting till about here, and that's pretty late. Be counting now. Look at your pole. I love it. Excellent. Okay, little walk break. We're going to put the killer flowers here at the end. So is it harder mentally for the horse if I add this at the end or the beginning of the exercise? I think it's actually harder for them when you add it at the end, because now you've just cheated and shown it to her. That's fine. But what I was going to say is if you come around the turn and there's something scary at the end, right, she kind of is going to forget about everything here. Okay? Where if you put it here, she's just dealing with this and then she's relaxed for the other two. It's often the case with jumpers too, where, like, let's say going into the triple combination, the horse gets thinking about the second or the third one before they've finished the first one, and then they'll take the rail at A because they got thinking, oh, what about B? What about C? There's so many rails everywhere. So it should, even in simple exercises, and it doesn't have to be a lot of height, but just to play with adding in different elements that she's got to keep track of, right? She has to do A, B, and C, and she can't get ahead of herself. Okay, so let's come do that off the left again. So it should ride exactly the same unless she's spooky or wiggly, right? But you plan to support it exactly the same, and then you're ready to adapt. If you feel her shift right, you have to close off the right side. If you feel her slow down, you have to send her forward, right? So you're always playing with your dosage of how much you need to keep her regular, to keep her in the canter that you've chosen. Good. Good bend. Okay, so she made a good effort there. She was just a little bit sort of slow on you, right? Like a little bit casual back here, and then it was a bit of a long distance, so she had to make quite an effort. Good. Okay, Leo, praise her there. Trot a circle with correct bend, left bend. Good. Okay, and walk a second. I'm just going to add the jump in the middle here. So again, when you set your canter, I love that it's staying quiet, right? We used to have to work awfully hard to get that canter. Now that canter is available pretty early in your ride, which is awesome. But then you need to make sure she's quiet and relaxed, but still has some energy, right? Okay, let's come here again off the left. Swap side, yeah. Good, just circle, work that through. Good for you. Exactly, so you don't make a bigger thing of it than it is, but you just kind of readdress it. Here we are again with left bend, going past the spooky noise. Good. Make sure you've got the beat of the canter. I like to see you counting. 1, 2, and legs. Good. So there you had a quiet, deep distance where you needed some leg to help her stay packaged and not break into the trot. Little stronger beat. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. It's okay, and she was good about fixing her lead over the jump. This is a better canter here, so stick with this. Look at your jump. Good, now keep it. Perfect. Good. Good, keep coming, Leo. Wait. Good, and aren't you glad you had your stick there? And that was perfect because she had an instant correction and you carried on, which I love to see. Good. Wait now. Good. The hard thing when she falls behind your leg and then you've got to correct her is then you're working on finding the happy medium again on the way to your jump, which is hard to do. Here it is now. Keep this, keep this, keep this. Good ride. Beautiful. Okay, walk break for her, Leo. We'll give her a nice minute here to catch her breath fully. And then we're going to do this off. And of course, off the right, we've got the added challenge of the lead change, right? Because it's not natural for her to land on the right lead yet. She's been doing it in bits and pieces and getting better with it, but it's still not there as nearly as consistently as the left. Okay, I'm going to give you an exit pull to think about. Now this could be very helpful in terms of trying to get her lead changed cleanly. And it also just gives you something to do after the jump. Okay, so you're coming off the right now, flower, jump, pull, right bend, pull, carry on. Okay, if she doesn't have her full lead by now, your left leg is going to get stronger before the pull, and you're looking to the corner with an opening right rein. So what you're doing is you're asking for the right lead of canter in the moment where she's going to be taking off, right? Because that's an easy moment for her. It's like skipping. It's an easy moment for her to shift her balance. Okay, are we ready? So off the right, you need to be looking and planning for your exit track and looking for that pole. So I would circle, and she was a little what we call nappy off your leg there, where she kind of pinned her ears and didn't want to go. Do that transition again. And if she at all hesitates or grinches at you, gets grumpy with you, just give her the stick and say, no debate. We're working now. Walk break is over. Good, and carry on. Good, look for your pull. It's okay, now we got a little wiggly there on that track. Right bend. Just circle here, just for traffic. Good, Leo. Look for your flowers. 1, 2, 1, 2. Look for your pull. So I want you to snug up that turn, right? It's becoming too much of a triangle. Circle here. So from the pole to the pole, you're making a curve. No point. Turning, turning, turning. Good, best one. Whip on your leg, right bend. Good, Leo. Now just trot a second here. And we're going to do this we're gonna do this again, but again, I wanna see you counting, like by C. I want you to be looking at your flower box and counting, okay? Eventually, you're gonna be seeing where you're at earlier and earlier, okay? But if you train yourself to look early and count, it's helping to connect the dots between what you see and what you feel. I love it. Good, okay, good. And even though you were working hard there, her counter didn't get faster on you. Now walk a sec. Can you feel back here about 4 or 5 strides away, kind of as you're coming out of the turn, meeting the straight line, that her hips are going out, and then you've got to find the straight line again? Not sure? Okay, I'm just going to move the marker, and I think you'll clean it up with this prompting you a little bit. Okay, so we're going to do this again, and then remember from the pole to the pole, you're trying to be turning a little bit every stride. So from the middle of this pole to the middle of that pole, you're finding part of a circle. Rather than going straight and then turning, you're just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and every stride is a turning stride. Okay? It's like you're doing a 25-meter circle, or part of a 25-meter circle. Okay, let's do that again. Make sure there's no twists in your reins. And you're going to have a clean transition forward. Looking up, push her off the inside leg, take the right bend, and quickly ask again. Good. Three, two, one. Nice. And that time when you were on a turning stride, the lead change came much earlier and much smoother. Again, look at the flowers. 1, 2. 3, 2, 1. Okay, forgot a little bit of your outside rein there. Now take a circle. Oh, that was a good one, Blaze. You killed it. Good. Straight. Okay, so Leo, the only problem there was that time you tried to add speed as well as turning. Right? She does, the last thing she needs is speed to get her lead change. It only is going to make her frantic and out of balance. Yeah, that's okay. This jump's been hanging on by a thread for a while.
As you said.
Okay, again. Nicer. Oh. No, it's because I put him in the round pen.
Oh, okay.
And I think he self-exercised quite well.
Oh.
Good, Leo. One more. Make sure you're in control of your track there. Excellent. Okay, praise her and walk break. Lovely. So this is a good gymnastic exercise for her, right? To get her body working. This is part of her ongoing fitness. It's also good for her to have to think about her front legs and her back legs, right? While she's jumping over this one and her feet are landing here, she's still got to take care of her hind end. Right, then she's taking off here, starting to think about that pole while her hind end is in the air, right? So it's just helping her to be a bit more complete with her jump instead of, you know, she used to just kind of heave herself over, right? Now we're starting slowly to get a little bit more roundness over the jump. Do you remember what that's called? The horse's round shape over the jump? What's that? A rainbow? That's a good way to think of it. It's called their bascule. Okay, so just changing this a little bit. Now we've got a more normal bounce set here. It's set a little bit short, which is good for her to help teaching her about compressing her body for the push part of the jump, right? For when she's got to push off the ground. We don't want it so short that she's uncomfortable, but we want it short enough that it challenges her to have to compress, to close her body like an accordion shortening. Okay, so now we're going to come do the bounce off the right, and then you're going to go straight 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, if you're straight, the 6 should feel really nice and normal. If she's wiggling or spooking or loses her track, then the 6 will feel long. Okay, got your plan there, Leo? So think about, at what point do I want you counting by? By C, yeah. So that means that by C, you've definitely got the right canter, right? You've got the canter you want. You're already looking at your jump. So then you're counting the right kind of canter in relation to the jump. Okay? Okay, Leo. Okay, who's been pooping all over the place? Can't keep up with all of you.
If you want to hold him, I can walk around and pick it up, or I can put him
Sure.
on back.
Yeah, no worry. I can hold him. He's good at being a statue.
He is very good at that.
Look at you. You don't even sweat, buddy.
I know. Well,
It's because it's freezing.
I'm so out of shape. I'm not really pushing very hard.
We're just going to come down the quarter line, guys. Make sure you've got some energy here, Leo. Three, 4, 5, 6. So when did I say that was going to be a bending line? Right? You did like this beautiful arc from jump to jump there. Now look to your first jump and line all 3 fences up and ride her through the chute. Good. Straight 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What a difference. Good. And a good lead change. Good. So those lead changes are still happening in 2 parts, but I'm happy that she's staying quiet. She's not losing her balance. Just going to sneak in front of you, Haley. Good. Okay, Leo, after the lead change, make sure you've got your right bend, and then let's walk a set. So now let's talk position. You made a huge improvement the second time coming down this line, riding her absolutely straight. That was perfect. Now positionally, when I look at your lower leg is slipping forward when she jumps. Okay? So it's getting just ahead of the girth. And the risk with that is that you're going to lose your balance, you're going to tend to lose your balance backwards. Right? So that you might sit a bit too heavy or be a bit behind the motion at the next jump. So here, go to your here your foot is too far forward. So make sure you're not seeing your toes when you look down at your knees, and then go to your 2-point. No, Finnegan. Bad boy. Good, and then your 2-point. Good, so think about where your eyes would be when you're in 2-point, and your reins would be about 6 inches shorter. That'll help you get the right feeling. Yeah, good. Eyes. Good. Okay. So now when I watch you over these jumps, that's what I'm going to be looking for, okay? So hip bend, knee bend, ankle bend, and keeping your heel under your hip. Okay? So check in with that position early, right? Like when you're cantering down, okay, is my knee back, my heels are down, okay, I'm good. And then over the jump as you're looking up, think about your leg glued underneath you.
Thank you, thank you.
No worries, thank you. Thanks, sweetie. Okay, so let's do it again, and this time I'm more watching your position. Now you still have to be just as effective as you add in checking in with your position. You feeling okay after yesterday? Not too sore?
No, it's fine. It's kind of cold though. It's so annoying, like riding in the cold.
Yeah, I know. Go 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. Good. With all of her male riders, she better not jump like that too often. Okay, Leo, walk a sec. So what was missing here down this line? Yep. Yeah, exactly. So anytime you've got related jumps, right, what's happening before is going to affect what happens in between. So if you're slow and a little weak jumping in, then you're going to land kind of slow and weak, right? Which means, and this is where I said go, I want you to start to try to feel this and recognize this earlier, is if you land feeling like you're not on that same good canter that you had the time before, here's where you need to change it, right? So, okay, we've landed kind of weak, so then it's leg 2, 3, 4, and just get her going a bit earlier. Okay? If she jumps in and lands already on it, then you don't have to change anything, right? You just stay the same. If she jumps in really big, then you've got to go wait for 6, right? Because it's so much about momentum. If you fly in, you've got a lot of momentum behind you, right? But the last time she landed looking like she wanted to go back to trot. Okay, so let's come do this again. So set your regular canter. Look and count, legs back and on, and make sure you've got 6 regular strides down the line. Good. So she landed just as weak that time, but that time you did something about it. Now have her jump in stronger, so you don't have to fix it down the line. So get stronger now in your canter beat. That's right. Now belly button down. And you feel how much difference it makes there, right? That time you had a big jump in, and you almost got 5. Use your bend, soften her up with the inside working rein. Which way is she looking? So again, this is a good canter here, Leo. You don't need any more speed than that. Now look at your jump, right bend. There we are. Good, I love it. Right bend, good, Leo. Okay, walk and praise her. Good, I thought that was excellent. It was an unfortunate rail. I thought that was a great ride, a great distance. She just didn't pick up her toes enough here, but she certainly landed into the line on a good canter. So here I want you to stand straight up. Stand all the way up. Okay, you should be able to do that while you're walking or cantering. Good. Now that puts your leg in a very different position, and that's where your lower leg should be when you sit back down. So feel there, did you feel how the legs started to go forward and then your bum fell down? Good. So when you sit, think about just bending your knees and sitting so that it's not changing, like if you look where I am, right? It's not changing where my leg is, and my bum is not getting behind my feet, right? You don't want when you sit that your feet end up out in front of you like you're sitting on a chair. Okay? So stirrup forward under the ball of your foot, stand up again. Good, and yes, there we go. Okay, and now that's how I want you to sit when you're going to your jump. Feel there, you've got a little bend in your hips. Leg is underneath you. Okay, so now we're gonna do our line. Bounce 6 strides, then you're gonna come across the diagonal over this little gate. Now which side of the cones do I want you on? Yeah. So make sure you're committed to that, okay? Because it would be very easy if she was crooked or cheating to fall to the inside, but you're gonna ride jumping over and pressing her around your inside leg through the turn. Okay? Good canter. Leg under you, 6 strides, land, right bend. Make sure you've got your good canter. Be counting before you leave the wall, right? So that between the jump and down in the corner is your reset phase where you're fixing anything that needs to be fixed, like getting the bend, half halting, or closing your leg, whatever you need to do to get your canter where it was. And then this whole piece is about staying the same, right? Having the right energy, having the right rhythm that you had already established. Okay. Let's go first time. Nice. Leg back. Right bend. Counting. Lining her up with your landing track. Beautiful, Leo. Okay, trot a circle and praise her and let her walk. Good, she's getting so much more level, isn't she? So that your adjustments get to be smaller because she's not going so fast, she's not getting so crooked, everything's staying a little more in the box, right? So then it's not such a big, like, oh, I've got to change everything, right? Now she's starting to feel a little bit more like a trained horse. That's awesome. Okay, so now we're going to do the same beginning, then the gate, same track you had was perfect. Then you're going to jump over the green with the white barrels. And then you're going to jump this archway on a bending line back to the gate. Most of my students have been finding that works nicely in 7 strides on a good bend. Okay, so that could be your plan, is kind of 4 strides straight, 3 strides straight. Okay, so of course whenever you do a line like that where you're intentionally making it a bit of like a L shape, it still has to be smooth, right? You don't want to be suddenly turning. It's just that rather than going on the curve there, you're going to go sort of straight and then meet the next turn. And I'm not bothered on how many strides. If you do 6 or you do 8 and it's a nice ride, then that's just fine, okay? It's going to depend a lot on your track and on being in the right canter. Hi, Yarko. Oh gosh, you're heavy. Okay, so the last time you were very businesslike about picking up your canter and being right in the energized mode. I don't think she's jumped this archway before, so you may have to ride a bit strong to that. If you come around the corner and she's backing off, right? Come on, let's go. Here's my leg. Here's my stick if needed. Okay, off we go. Energy, Leo. Nice, I like it. Keep this canter. Straight, straight, straight. I'm gonna jump this barrel here. Look for your next one. Comes up quickly. Balance. Okay, so just walk a sec. So good. I mean, I like your toughness and your instincts there. You're right. Unfortunately, that got way more complicated because here you didn't really help her. Right? Do you know what I mean by that? Like you kind of had a pace, but you didn't really have a rhythm. And then it was coming up to a bad distance and you needed to either wait or go, right? It's like, which decision are you making here? Okay, and I think, you know, it's a small jump and she's being good and listening, so I would have waited, right? When you're coming up to it and it's not looking good, just fit one more stride in there. Okay, that would have given you more time here to be organized, and then this doesn't come up so fast. Okay, so let's do these 3 again. Make sure you finish on the gate. Cat, you're always in the way. That was great, Leo. She's jumping beautifully straight there. Now you're going to jump the green one and then the bending line, the archway to the gate. 1, 2, 1. Much better. Same distance, better ridden. Look. So she busted you for looking down, huh? Because your balance wasn't where it needed to be when you're looking down. Now keep your hands wide here. Make it about your leg. Good. Look. Okay, we're off course again, Leo. So come jump the last 2 again. That's so important. Imagine if that was the last jump of your jump off. Oh, you'd be mad. And you'd have to sit in the car with your dad for 3 hours and hear about it. Good ride, sir.
Now I'd strap them to the roof of the car.
That's right. Your fuel consumption might get worse though. It's less aerodynamic that way. Okay, good. Good, bold riding. And you rode boldly without becoming a cowboy and losing track of where you were, okay? Like you weren't flapping and kicking and going, you were just strong. Okay, and that's good. And the strong ride gave you how many strides?
7? No, 8.
Nope.
6?
6.
He's guessing.
So we did, or we had talked about doing 7 on more of sort of a bending track. You had a bold canter and a little bit curved track, and the 6 was good. The problem with doing the 6 in here is then you've got more horse, which makes the turn a bit harder, right? And you felt her kind of dodge and switch her lead and so on. Okay? I don't want to get too technical with you because I'm really happy with how you rode this. Okay? Just sort of something to think about is if you had come out and given her one more stride, it makes your turning that much easier. With the whip, Leo, if you use your whip like this, the horses can still deke away, right? Because of course you've taken one hand off your steering wheel, but it's very unlikely that they would. If you use your whip like this, they almost always find an escape. Okay? You gotta keep your chin up.
And plus, I was trying to give the reins to this one, but it slipped out, and I went like this.
Oh, okay. Okay, I didn't see that. All right. Can you feel how straight she's jumping there over the gate? Isn't that nice? We're not getting nearly so much legs to the left swinging around these days. Was Neo crestfallen after how hard I made him work last lesson?
Yeah, his inner thighs. He says, whoa, and this, like, we got this thigh master, and like their routine each day is 50 squeezes with the thigh master,
Yeah.
50 continuous military sit-ups, and then 15 minutes shooting.
Wow.
And so it takes less than half an hour if they fly through it. But
Yeah.
Neo is the one that does the least amount of exercises. He's like he never does them.
Right.
So that's really good because I told him that's why you have to do the thigh master.
Blaze is a good thigh master to practice on as well.
But Leo is the best for doing his exercises without me bugging him. He is pretty self-disciplined and motivated.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's a quality I wish I possessed more of.
Then Ren,
like
and then
every time
Neo.
I've had like physio or anything where I'm supposed to be doing exercises, oh, I find it so hard.
Yeah. But having a killer gaming computer is kind of the incentive. Kind of helps too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Right, Leo?
You've got the carrot dangling in front of you. Okay, we're gonna start over the green one this time. So you're starting over the green, turning right, going all the way down, then your grid. So bounce to the 6 strides, and then immediately you're gonna do your bending line. Okay, make sure you've got enough energy and go right down to your first jump. Especially at the end of your ride, you don't want to take too long setting up, right? She's already been ridden for quite a while. Need to conserve the energy you have. Good. Right bend, long side. Now check in with your lower leg position. Knees bent. There you go. Good. What about your right bend? Right bend. Good ride. Now the corner. Good. Good job, Leo. So So I want you to work a little more at getting the bend through the turns, right? She's going around her turns like you see ponies go, like if you watch the pony jumpers, right? Because the kids don't quite have the skills yet. So the ponies always go around the turn like this. Okay, so at your level now, it should just be part of your repertoire that you go around the corner with your horse looking where she's going, right? And that's going to help her body, like if you think of like a roller coaster, right? Like she needs to be on the tracks, right? Her energy needs to go like this around the turn and not lean the other way. So the only jump she didn't jump well was this one. Did you feel she kind of left the ground on all four legs? And then she didn't give you any, what's the B word?
Bascule.
Bascule.
Bascule. Tabarnak.
It said mascule.
So B-A-S-C-U-L-E. Bascule.
Sounds like a cube.
Okay, so to help her find a better shape here, trainers use different ways to try to get the horses to understand the shape we're after. What I'm going to do for her is give her a little more ground line. I don't want her to necessarily leave the ground earlier, but what I want her to do is understand that there's a curve that needs to happen over the jump, right? So here, the jump is more square, and the horses tend to either, you know, when they're green, either leave all four legs together or get too deep and then hit the front rail. She left all four legs together and then landed on the back rail, right? So now we're going to visually make the jump look like it has more curve to it. And then I'm also going to just, not very much, I'm just going to lift the back rail a little bit. So I'm like, okay, you need to come curving your body over the back rail, not just jumping the front rail and then thinking you're done. Okay. Let's just work on this line to finish. We're going to do this a couple times. Who is that? Sounds like a girl.
Echo and Toby.
Yeah, it was Echo.
Yeah.
Of course it sounded like a girl. The other day it sounded like an elephant and heat.
Okay, ready?
Weird that all those two got it. It was the weird one that
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. She jumped a little better. We're going to come again. The 6 in here was a little weak, right? Just need to have a little more purposeful, directed canter up the line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. Perfect. Good. Now, right bend, right bend. So now the other piece you need to show me, Leo, is the right bend through the turn on landing. You're welcome, Haley. Thank you. That looked good. Good ride. Stay tall. Good. Better effort from her. Bend, 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 bend. Not pull on both reins. Bending right means that you're going to have to give your left rein a little bit. Now just trot and circle. I want you to come down to this end, Leo, and you're going to show me a circle down here. That's exactly like the one I want after this jump. Okay, so come show me right lead canter circle with good right bend. Oh, drop your stirrups. Now eyes, where are the eyeballs? Which way is she looking? Their eyes. Eyes. I feel to see your glasses, not the brim of your helmet. Good, now we're talking. Now you can see her eye on the inside, right? Can you see her inside eye there? Yeah. Good. Now canter a circle like that. Good, now look up. And then check in that you can see her inside eye. That's just a glance at her. You don't have to look down very far. Good. Now take your stirrups back and trot. Good. Nice, Leo. Push her out. What about the right bend? Multitasking, right? Not only getting your stirrup back, but also continuing to ride her in the best shape. Okay, we're going to come one more time up this line. I've added a landing pole. Keep your eyes up. Good, that got her to think a little bit. Now show me the right bend. And trot a sec. I'm just going to put our jump back up. And then you're going to do it one more time. And this time I want you to canter a circle in that corner to really make sure the bend happens, okay? I know, well, I mean, you can see how well she's jumping there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's 3 foot, or I think that's 3 foot. This is.
That's 2, I don't know, 2, 6? Is that 3 feet?
No, it's 3 feet. Yeah, the back rail is. In fact, it's a little bigger than 3 feet up the back rail. Well, she's jumping straighter and smoother, so, and she's not arguing.
Yeah.
So she just really come along now. I had a great ride on her Wednesday, and I was hoping to ride her the next day as well because I wanted to follow it up.
Yeah.
But I had to take all these horses to Abbotsford and pick new ones up, and the day just got away. Okay, make sure, Leo, that you ride the bend, the turn, the rhythm, and then the jump. Okay, so you've already got your good rhythm. You're adding the bend, the turn, you're keeping your rhythm, and then you're jumping your jump. She's just starting to shortcut a little bit in here, and then she was just fast and chipped this the last time. Okay. Oh, praise her. She had every excuse to stop. Praise her, praise her. Good girl. Now we're going to go do that again, and you need to have a much better canter and a better leg support down the line so that she gets to the oxer with impulsion. Bend, turn, rhythm. Now we're talking. Good. Way better, Leo. Way better. Good for you. Good. Now, yes, bend. Good. Take the speed away. Awesome, we're gonna come again. That was a great ride, and she just nicked this, and I don't want her to finish with a rail. See if you can find that same good canter again. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. Good job. Bend, right side, right side. You don't need to turn so small. Don't confuse bending and turning. They are two different things. Push your circle out bigger and bigger. You can make your outside rein wide if she's cutting in. Now bend her right and push her out. There we go, there we go. Way better. Good, Leo. Let's do that one more time to clean this up. Hopefully I won't regret that because she jumped this really well, okay? So support her in the same way there. Wonderful. Now keep your circle large. Wide outside rein. Work her. Yeah, so much better, Leo. Okay, good job. Good job.
Same thing with Willow.
Awesome. Did you feel there the last time when you were like bend, 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 your circle was getting smaller and faster, right? So then she's turning her head, but her body is following it like this, right? And you want her to bend and still stay up and around her circle. Okay, so much better there. So because she jumped a lot of jumps today, just a couple minutes trotting, nice and slow, easy circles and serpentines, and then she can walk and be done. Okay, maybe just throw her cooler on while you're walking her as well. Okay, so a little bit of trot work and then throw the cooler on to walk her out because it's so cold tonight. Good job. Good job. And your leg's in the right spot right now. Okay, so keep thinking about that too, right? Always this. You want to have your weight over your ankles, right? Rather than getting your feet out in front of you and then we lose the balance backwards. Good. Pretty good, huh?
Yeah, that's what, 3-3 there, you think?
A little bigger, it's almost 3-6. With my hip, I think it's 3-6. So it's just under 3-6.
Yeah, cool.